How you doing, everybody? Jay Nanda, San Antonio Metal Music Examiner with Access.com. A very special Memorial Day weekend coming to you from the parking lot of the AT&T Center, the 3rd annual River City Rock Fest. Ton of bands playing tonight, and not the least of which, Big Four thrash members, Anthrax, and I have the pleasure of going into the pit right now with drummer extraordinaire Charlie Benante.
Wow.
How are you, sir?
I'm good. How are you?
It's good. I'm good. Thanks for doing this. Thanks for being here.
Yeah, no problem.
First order of business is to say, welcome back. I know you've missed some dates. Yeah. I know you came back for Rock on the Range and I think Rocklahoma yesterday during the bad weather. Yeah. But you can be honest on record here, you really wanted to come back just to play San Antonio, right?
Absolutely. Couldn't wait. Couldn't wait to get to San Antonio. I hope the weather is kind to us today so we can play some amazing fucking metal and make everybody happy.
Well, how do you feel? I mean, health-wise, I know you'd had some, I don't know if everybody publicly knows or if it's general knowledge, but if you want to talk about why you were out.
I had an operation a while back for carpal tunnel, and I mean, I could play fine. It's just when I get to like over 3 weeks or of the tour, it starts to affect me a bit. Sure. So that's how it is, Yeah. Wear and tear. I beat the hell out of my arms, wrists for all these years.
Yeah, all these years, yeah.
Now it's like catching up, but like I said, I'll still play fine.
Yeah. Well, I don't even know if you're aware of this, but the last time you guys were in San Antonio, September, I want to say 23rd or 25th, 2010, right inside that building, right behind this bus here at the AT&T Center with Slayer and Megadeth. So it's been almost 5 full years since you guys have been here. But the last time we talked was actually October 2011 in a frigid night at Emo's in Austin, where you were taking a little guitar lesson on the side while I was interviewing Frankie and Joey on the bus. I don't know if you remember that. I was with Testament and Death Angel.
I was taking a
You were the guitar lesson on the side, and that was Rob Capistani's birthday, by the way. But yeah, so point being, it's been so long since Anthrax has been here. It's going to be a very special night. They're headlining the second stage. Just generic question, but how does it feel to be back here in this part of Texas?
Well, for us, for me especially, it's like San Antonio has always been like the heavy metal kind of place for Texas, you know what I mean? We always knew once we come to San Antonio, the metalheads will come out and it would just be an amazing show. So more so than other cities in Texas, I think San Antonio has always been has that vibe, you know? So I'm looking forward to that. There's a great crowd already, so I think it's going to be killer.
Yeah, In Flames is playing right now. You probably hear it in the background. Tons of bands going on tonight.
Yeah.
And of course, the other big story with Anthrax is the follow-up to Worship Music is maybe this year, early next year. How's the progress going with the new album?
Well, it's a good thing to say that we have so many songs that's why it's taken a bit longer than usual. Like if we just went in and had 11, 12 songs, probably be done by now. But we have over 20 songs, so we just want to make sure each one of them is great, even though we're not going to put 20 songs out right away.
Right.
You know what I mean? We just want to make sure it's good because we feel so strongly about the last one. We don't just want to rush something.
Right.
We want to make it great so that when people hear it, they'll be like, "Fuck, I love this. This is killer." What a great follow-up. So a little bit of pressure, but I think we have some really good tunes.
Yeah. Well, I had the pleasure of being in the photo pit at Knotfest last October with you guys. I was there shooting that when you were the Ultimate Teasers playing 30 seconds. Played 30 seconds of a song that was just pure riffage. Was that the Game of Thrones song?
No, it wasn't.
Okay.
No, the Game of Thrones is different than that song.
Can you pronounce that for me? I don't want to screw that up.
Sor Illuminator, but what that translates to is basically sister fucker. And if you're a fan of the show, you understand what that means. But the song that we played a little piece of is a song called "You Gotta Believe," which is probably one of the faster songs on the record.
Cool, kick-ass. Well, how about the old stuff? I mean, as far as all these years, do you still honestly get a kick out of playing the Among the Living stuff, spreading the disease stuff on stage, and I know you can do it in your sleep, but do you get that extra drive and energy personally and as a band?
It actually depends how I'm feeling that day. Like, I don't think we're gonna play "I Am the Law" today. We're gonna change that up for another song, which we want to play because we haven't played it in a while. So it's hard to say what the audience is going to react to more. So with a show like this, we just want to keep it going, like as intense as possible. So we may throw in like a Madhouse. We may throw in. Well, we can't throw in that song. Like we like playing the song "Skeletons in a Closet." It's really fast and it has a great driving beat to it. So I don't know what we're gonna play today, but we'll talk about it downstairs.
Yeah, and it's almost obligatory for me. I mean, you know, to ask this question, being in Texas, your thoughts about Dimebag. Obviously, you guys have said in the past that he was basically, I think Frankie told me this, that he was basically the 6th unofficial member of the band. I know he played the solo on Inside Out, I believe, on Volume 8, if I'm not mistaken, or parts of that song, right?
Dime played on 3 of our records. He played on Stomp, he played on Volume 8, and he also played on We Come For You All. So we do a song tonight which is called In the End.
Yes.
Which is somewhat about Daryl and somewhat about Ronnie James Dio. And I guess those songs have a deep meaning because we were friendly with both of those who passed. And I think their contribution to heavy metal in general is just so great. And I hope everybody here who loves heavy metal knows who Ronnie James Dio is, knows who Dimebag Darrell is, and the mark that they made on this type of music. You know, it's just, they live on forever.
Absolutely. All right, I'm going to put you on a spot for a little bit, just for fun, about the Music of Mass Destruction live CD, 2004.
Sure.
You guys recorded that in my hometown, which you basically live in right now at the Metro. That's my hometown. Right. And on that CD, John told the crowd, John Bush, who I happened to interview yesterday when Armored Saint was here in town, he told the crowd that Chicago was the heavy metal capital of the United States on that live CD. As many of you know, San Antonio has been known about that for years because in the early 80s they gave, with the late DJ Joe Anthony here, gave so many bands, Rush, Judas Priest, Queensryche, the list goes on, their early starts here in the United States. So San Antonio, for the longest time, was known as the heavy metal capital of the U.S. Lay it on the line here for me. Which one is it?
I cannot say that because of other parts of the country. It's just, you know, it rises here and there. You know what I mean? This one city will become just metalized, and Chicago for that time was just so crazy, like for us, and we just had some of the greatest shows in that period. So at that time was probably Chicago. We just played Chicago a couple of nights ago.
Aragon, yeah.
And I was happy and everything, but it wasn't one of our best shows for, you know, audience wise. I thought they were a bit tired. So who knows? Tonight, San Antonio can regain their regain the belt.
There you go. This is another generic question, but what sticks out the most for you? Because in 30 plus years of Anthrax, I mean, with obviously the core, you, Frankie, Scott, what's the secret to your relationship, friendship, all these years? Do you still feel on a nightly basis going out as energetic as you did when you first started?
You know, I'd be lying if I said every night you feel that way. You know, you can't have that all the time because you'd be a robot. But there's a vibe that gets created during the day, and it kind of translates. When we get on stage and you just hear that audience roar, boom, we just kick it in, and it just works back and forth. You know, we give, they give, we give, they give, and I think that's the best relationship to have at a show, you know, because who wants to play to a dead audience?
Yeah.
It's just like
for thrash metal and for Big Four, it just the wear and tear on every musician's body in a thrash band. How much do you foresee yourself doing this? How much longer do you foresee yourself doing it?
I don't know. I don't put a time on it. I mean, I didn't think I'd be doing it at this point. So, you know, I look at other bands like you know, Sabbath or Priest or whoever, and Iron Maiden, and you know, fucking Iron Maiden just killing it all the time. So that's the band that I think we modeled ourselves off of the most, is Iron Maiden. I think a lot of the Big Four bands took what Maiden did and said, let's, you know.
Which is interesting because obviously Maiden's not thought of as a thrash band, but they're so influential and heavy that a lot of, like you said, a lot of thrashers.
I think if you listen to Iron Maiden Killers, that album, there's so many elements of thrash on it that nobody really understands. Like the song Genghis Khan is fucking crazy.
Yeah.
So I love. Yeah, to me they are the greatest.
Yeah. Well, outstanding. We're gonna let you get ready for the show. As you can hear, chaos going on here at the 3rd annual River City Rock Fest. Lincoln Park is headlining the main stage. Anthrax is headlining the 2nd stage in a couple of hours, 8:40 tonight. So, Charlie, thank you so very much.
Thank you so much.
Welcome back again.
Thanks, guys.
What an absolute pleasure. For Charlie Benante, this is Jay Nanda, San Antonio Metal Music Examiner for Access.com, reminding you, don't hang them out to dry. Hold them up high.
Good one.